FOMC meetings, all the last FOMC meetings, then y'all know that what's most important for Jerome Powell to start cutting rates is he wants to see inflation below the Federal Reserve target level, and that is 2%. We are at 1.7%. That is very good. We were up like January, we were up above 3%, and we've been around 2.5% for a long time. Now we are at 1.7%. That is very good. So that is one thing. The other thing is, of course, unemployment claims. And if I see it correctly, we have unemployment claims this week with FOMC minutes. That's just data coming out. There we have it. Unemployment claims, 2:30 p.m. Central European Time on Thursday. All right. This one is important. If unemployment goes up, then that is actually bullish for crypto. That is bearish for the US dollar, and vice versa. Actual less than forecast is good for currency, exactly. So it's forecasted 234,000 in unemployment claims, and if it comes out less than forecast, then it's good for currency, and that is good for the US dollar, of course, which is bad for BTC and also bad for gold. So we want to see this thing go up. Actually, it's a sad correlation. Of course, nobody want to see unemployment claims go up, but this is how the reality is. If the economy is doing bad, then it means there's more. It is more likely that the U.S. government will print money, or the Federal Reserve will print money to stimulate the economy, and therefore, it is good for us. Printing money is, of course, good for risk assets like Bitcoin and crypto, altcoins. All right. So that is number one. We have U.S. inflation that is going down, and we are hoping for unemployment claims that are going up. And if so happens, I think we are very close to a rate cut. We have the next federal fund rates decision now in July. I don't think they will cut rates, but in September, if they can, if this continues to play out like this, then we have a big chance that they cut rates in December and November. And of course, that will mega trigger not only Bitcoin and boomer tokens, but an altcoin season that everybody has been longing for so long now. Let me just check the chat quick. All right, all good. So that is about the rate cuts. Now, in the same time as we see all of this, we have a supply shock incoming. Let me see if I can find that chart. I have that chart. Where do I have it actually? As you guys see, don't have too many charts up. It's a tip that I have for y'all, because y'all get lost like me here. Here's the chart that I want to show y'all. So this is the amount of amount of Bitcoin on exchanges. All right. So the Bitcoin exchange reserve chart basically, and what it shows right now is that we have about 2.4 million Bitcoins on the exchanges. 2.4. If we drop below, like this is record low, just by the way, just so you understand. You can see it here, like we never been that low before. And if we drop below 2 million, the market is gonna explode, because there's a FOMO that is going to kick in. There is a FOMO on institutional and governmental level that's gonna kick in, because what we gotta understand is governments are accumulating crypto right now. They are accumulating crypto on a rapid pace, and why they are doing it is because they see, of course, where the United States of America is going with Bitcoin and crypto, and more countries and governments, institutions are starting to also big corporates like Meta Planet, and of course we know MicroStrategy. They're starting to realize that this is where the future is going. This is where, like, the US dollar is going to, like, guys, the US dollar is going to be obsolete. I think it's going to hyperinflate. I'm going to talk more about that very soon, because there's a big thing about stable coins when it comes to the US dollar. But the US dollar is going to be obsolete, and I think the US government definitely knows that, and this is why they are so eager to, have a strategic crypto reserve, Bitcoin reserve, accumulate Bitcoin, and go heavy on stable coins. All right. So once this Bitcoin reserves on exchanges drops below 2 million, I think that FOMO is going to start kicking in. And these governments are going to start, like, they will want to buy up the last that is left on these exchanges. And of course, they can buy over counter. But what happens when nobody wants to sell anymore? Because everybody realizes that shit, okay, Bitcoin is flying. Everybody wants to buy Bitcoin. Why should I sell? I'm holding it until the price goes up. Nobody wants to sell. Everybody wants to buy. Supply and demand. Yeah, guys know the math, right? Price skyrockets. So I think we have a sick bull rally that is incoming when it comes to especially Bitcoin, but crypto in general. Altcoins also. There will be an altcoin season most definitely. What do we have, Mo? We have, let me check what I reposted here in the morning. Oh yeah, and this is also something that is very interesting. So we have Wall Street that is flooding the SEC with 54 crypto ETF filings so far. All right, and I mean this is just staggering. It's crazy. So it means there will be a lot of ETFs coming, not only for Bitcoin but for Solana, for Ethereum, for XRP, and so on. We're still waiting for the Ethereum staking ETF. All right, when that happens, Ethereum will explode. For all y'all that been holding Ethereum and been wondering when it will explode, I say keep holding it, because I say like I've said all the time, Ethereum is a sleeping giant. Once it starts to run, it will run, because Wall Street only understands one thing, and that is finance. And decentralized finance, DeFi, is mainly built on Ethereum. Why? Because Ethereum is the safest network out there. It's battle tested, it's been around for a long time, it has a lot of volume on it, and so on. So that is where most of the big projects, especially institutional projects, will be built. And Wall Street is FOMOing into crypto right now. So they are already going hard on DeFi, and that thing is ramping up on exponential level. All right. Something else. Yeah, China. Is China dodging US tariffs? So we know this wars that been going on. Sorry. We know this trade wars that have been going on between US and China. US hates China's guts right now. Why is that? It's because, like, you can read a lot of bullshit propaganda about China is doing bad and China is this and China is that. I will tell you one thing. Learn to speak Mandarin. Why do I say that? It's because China will take over. China will be the next superpower to dominate this world, and US will not. So why do I believe so, and why do I think so? First and foremost, it's not just me. This is like experts around the world, American experts also believe in the same thing. It's because China is so ahead of US right now in so many sectors, and where they are not ahead, they are catching up big time when it comes to tech and economy, even military. And they do so because they are thinking so far ahead in their game plan. They are so strategic with everything that they do. So what is happening now, for example? US wanted to, punch China hard in the gut to make them bend with these tariff wars, all right? China responded super hard back on US, not only with tariffs, but also with what? With dumping US government bonds. That was a blow between the legs on the US, especially on Donald Trump, that really wanted to bring down the US government bonds, the treasury yield. He needs to bring it down because, US needs to refinance their massive debt. And as long as treasury yield is going up, the higher up it is, the more expensive it gets for the US government to refinance their debt. because they're selling, they finance their debt and their money printing by selling US government bonds, all right? And the higher they have to push up the yield on those government bonds, the higher the price for them to borrow money, basically. Just a sec here. Taking a sip of my beautiful green tea with honey. I hope you guys are following along. I know it's a lot of information I'm throwing out here, but I will keep repeating a lot of this stuff during these live streams, so y'all will learn. I'm a macro nerd. I love macroeconomy. Why? Because macroeconomy is what runs this world. Geopolitics is what runs this world, and it is what long term always steers the price of Bitcoin, crypto, gold, indexes, stocks, whatever it is, like the whole financial markets. All right. Now, okay, back to this thing here. Is China dodging the US tariffs? So, China exports to the US fell with 43% after the May announcement of those big tariffs on China. Okay, so it fell with 43%. That's giant numbers, all right? So that's a staggering 15 billion decline in trade value. However, the country total exports jumped with 4.8% during the same period, per official Chinese data. All right, maybe that data is manipulated, but how much manipulated? So the export has actually gone up, even though their exports to US fell. And we can see that China has been very chill, very confident with this trade war. They have not been stressed at all about this. It's actually US that has been stressed about this. So the question is, what is happening? Well, it's obvious. China was expecting this, and what they do is they just go around these tariff barriers, and what they do is they trade with their neighboring countries, with the rest of the world, basically. And they are expanding big time in Africa right now, establishing themselves big time in Africa. That's another discussion, but yeah. So China is doing good. Russia is doing good. America is not doing so good, and we're not even going to talk about Israel in this case here. All right, back to US. And by the way, I have something I have to say about Ripple and XRP also. But back to US and the US dollar. First, let me just see what's happening in the markets before I continue here. All right, we are good. How is gold doing? Market just opened, so I want to see that we are good. Oh, okay, all right, nice, nice. We got the little push up. We'll probably tap into this order block, as I said before, which will probably lead me into taking a sell or adding to my sell position on gold. All right, I will try to keep my eyes on this. If you guys see something, put it in the chat while I'm talking, because sometimes when I talk, I go on my rants, I forget the charts. All right, so United States of America has no choice but to go crypto. And this is why they're going hard on Bitcoin right now. Sorry. This is why they're going hard on crypto right now. On Bitcoin right now with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Here's the thing, and this is why you can see Scott Besson. He's pushing, and the U.S. government is pushing stablecoin legislations very hard right now. Why are they doing so? Because they really want stablecoins to run things by stablecoins in the United States of America. That is because stablecoins. So what is a stablecoin? First and foremost, it's a cryptocurrency that is one-to-one pegged to the US dollar. If the US dollar goes up, that stablecoin goes up as well, in the same as the US dollar. So you can swap your crypto to stablecoins, to USDT, and you will have the equivalent of it in US dollar if you want to swap it to US dollars. Okay, so How can it be pegged? It's because it's backed by US dollars, and it's not because Tether, let's say for in this case, the company behind the USDT, it's not because they hold a whole lot of US dollars. They do, but they mostly hold US Treasury bonds. And I just spoke on bonds before, right? That the Treasury yield is going up. The more countries that dump US Treasury bonds, the more the yield will go up. The more countries or companies or whatever it is buys US Treasury bonds, the more the yield will go down. And that is what they want. That's what the US government want. USD stable coins like USDT, for example, hold US government bonds. They actually hold a whole lot of it. They have some of the biggest holdings of it in the world. I don't remember exactly how much it is. I can pull up the numbers for the next stream, but it's a lot. And now, if everything goes as it looks to be going with the legislations around the US stable coins, then it means that Tether, Circle, and all these USD stablecoin companies will have to acquire a whole lot of US government bonds to mint more US stablecoins. So Tether in this case, for example, will buy a lot of US treasuries to mint more USDT. We know USDT because it's the most famous stablecoin of all at this point. So this is one of the main reasons why, and Scott Bessent has said this. This is not no theory. This is Scott Bessent said this straight out, actually. So this is why they really, really want to push these legislations, and this is mega bullish, of course, for crypto. And this is why I believe also that, this crypto run that everybody's waiting for, it will come sooner than later, and it will be more aggressive than everybody thought and expected, all right? So that is that regarding stablecoins. And I want to say one thing about Ripple, but I don't have an article to bring out, actually. I will see if I can, wait, let me just check something. Let's see if we can find it right now. Ripple just filed for bank charter to become a bank, all right? That is massive. Let's just do like this. Yeah, here it is. 2nd July. Ripple is going full bank, filed for federal trust charter with the OCC. So this makes XRP part of the US financial system. So we already know XRP is basically getting integrated more and more as in the financial system. I will repost this actually. But yeah, this one is massive. This means that Ripple will basically be a bank in America and will integrate XRP even deeper into the financial system. So I don't like Ripple as a company. I don't like XRP for what it stands for, because I love crypto because it's power to the people. It's a decentralization. It's trust. It's transparency. Ripple is totally the opposite of that. But as an investment vehicle, XRP will rip. It's no doubt about it. So you want to hold some XRP if you don't already do. That is basically it. I don't want to rant too much on this stuff. I will do a quick check here on the technicals, and after that, we're wrapping this stream up. So let's see what's happening here. We have volume picking up, as you can see here. This is what I wanted to see. We have volume picking up again on BTC. So it looks like we will continue to push further up. Let me go on the TradingView chart. For hourly, we stay good. Okay, so we had an engulfing 4-hourly candle, really nice. And for y'all, I had a question for Mohammed the other day. Thank you, Mohammed, for asking that question. Actually, it's a good question. We engulfed this candle here. Let me zoom in. The question was, what do I mean with engulfing, and what did we engulf? We engulfed all these candles here, actually, all these candles. The last bearish candle, but even this candle here, and now the following candle, 4-hourly candle, engulfed this candle here. So it means we have kept the engulfing momentum. That is very bullish. In the same time, what do we have? We have volume, bullish volume picking up. We have not engulfed this bearish volume, but we're still picking up bullish volume. So very good. We'll probably have a little pullback here, or maybe not, and then we will continue upwards. Looking very good. I'm very bullish on crypto, on Bitcoin today. So this is why I'm holding these positions that I took earlier today. Just because I said so, we're dropping. Anyways, this is why I'm holding these positions that I took earlier today. If you were on the live stream, if we get stopped out, I'm basically break even on this position here. This one, we still have a long way to go. This is the entry we took yesterday evening at 107,500-ish. This one at about 108,500. If I get stopped out, I will look for a re-entry. Because I think that we are going much higher today. I'm aiming for, as you can see here, 109,400 based on liquidity. I might adjust this. I'm always looking at liquidity to we just got a gold signal also, buy. I'm always looking at liquidity for my take profits and stop losses. All right, so this is just short-term trading here. And as you can see, we have major volume, liquidation volume here at about 109,500. Next one is at about 110,000, and that's the real one I'm looking at. This is the one. This is my take profit level. All right, might take a little bit here at 109,500, and then the next 110,000. So that's what I'm looking at. I want this to continue upwards. So a little pullback now, and then we build upwards during the day. That's what I see and believe will happen for BTC today. I will keep you guys posted and updated in the Telegram channel. For y'all that are new here, if you ain't in it, make sure you join it. All links are in the description box below. And that is basically it for now. All right, my people. Let me just check the chat quickly so I don't miss any questions here. Now we're good. Guys, listen, smash that like button if you got some value out of this. Smash that like button. And I will probably see you guys tomorrow morning again, okay? Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys in the Telegram channel. Peace.